Hi, I'm Ryan Bush. I've been a fine art photographer since 1996, focusing on the beauty hidden in everyday things like plants, trees, overhead wires, the sky, and much more. Based in Aptos, California, I use abstraction, multiple exposures, 3D photography, and other techniques to point beyond the ordinary and celebrate the transcendent radiance that shines through absolutely everything if we pay close enough attention. In our challenging world, we need as much soul and inspiration as possible, and I know firsthand how much art can change our lives, that it can be as powerful as any spiritual practice, philosophy, or other wisdom tradition. I offer a wide variety of museum-quality, limited edition prints from the 15 series I've made over the last 29 plus years, along with my books From Wandering to Illumination, A Singing Wire, and The Music of Trees, plus a range of greeting cards. I'm most known for my series of tree photographs, beginning with my Tree Portraits series, where I photograph the trees relatively close to how we see them in everyday life. I then started working with multiple exposures, as in my best-selling series Memoria, and the color series Multiple Visions. I continued experimenting with different techniques to express ever deeper parts of our inner experience, as with my mandala-like 3D series From Wandering to Illumination, and my motion blur series Beyond, where the trees dissolve into rivers of light. I'll say more about these series towards the end of this video, but you can find the most info about all my series by going to the art page of my website, ryanbushphotography.com. My art is heavily inspired by my other practices, like meditation, spirituality, and Reiki, my Ph.D. in linguistics, speaking 8 languages, and playing music, as well as having worked in Silicon Valley for 17 years. I'm also passionate about teaching on a wide variety of topics, including art, creativity, and consciousness, working with the mind, body, and energy, going beyond the ordinary perspective, and how to thrive in our difficult modern world. So please check out my YouTube videos, articles, conference presentations, and social media. To get a better sense of what my art and I are all about, it might help to start from the beginning. I started photographing seriously in 1996, first with a Pentax 35mm and then with a Mamiya medium format camera. In those years, I mainly photographed landscapes, buildings, flowers, and plants, and I gradually fell in love with their rhythms, shapes, and geometric compositions. After a few years, I realized I wanted to do more than just document the beauty in front of me. So I upgraded to a Hasselblad camera and started experimenting with techniques in the darkroom, like printing a color photo in black and white, and inverting images to see what would emerge. Each unexpected result blew my mind and awakened something deep inside me that I didn't realize was there and couldn't yet find words for. I started focusing on more abstract subjects like architectural details and overhead wires, which helped me find my voice as an abstract artist and led to my first gallery shows. Meanwhile, my close-up photographs of trees ignited a love affair with trees that's been a key hallmark of my career ever since. However, in 2005, I began to feel that there weren't enough abstract subjects in the world to express everything I felt inside me, and for a while I turned to oil painting. Then, one day I was going for a walk and noticed that the tar painted on asphalt looked an awful lot like the paintings I'd been doing. That led to my meditations photographs, which helped me fall back in love with abstract photography and made me begin to focus on the other main hallmark of my career, using art to evoke consciousness, states of being, and spirituality. In my next series, Writing the Divine, I took phrases related to spirituality and wrote them over and over on sheets of paper as meditations on their meaning. I photographed them lit from below, and the resulting images led to some of my clearest experiences of radiance yet, as well as having several pieces acquired by the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston. In 2011, I was in a very reflective mood after my father passed away, and I decided to photograph trees again. I wanted to experiment with multiple exposures because my previous series involved multiple sheets of paper, and I was also listening to a lot of looping music by musicians like Zoe Keating. My Hasselblad camera didn't have a built-in way of doing multiple exposures, so for my Memoria series, I invented my own technique to build up several layers with infinite subtlety and complexity, like how layers of memory build up on top of each other. In addition to having a lot of success with galleries and collectors, this series also marked a turning point where I was photographing experiences of trees rather than the literal trees themselves. In 2012, I was in a much more exuberant mood and wanted to celebrate the fullness of life in all its seasons, and the acceptance of all aspects of life, whether in frozen winters, the rebirth of spring, the vibrant joy of summer, or the fiery colors of fall. With my Multiple Visions series, I came back to photograph my favorite trees again and again, making all-over compositions, like finding Jackson Pollock paintings hidden in ordinary trees everywhere. In 2014, a visionary experience made me look for a kind of photography that could evoke the immense power of moments of awe, wonder, inspiration, transcendence, and all experiences that take us outside our usual way of being. For the series, From Wandering to Illumination, I started by making mandala-like, multiple exposure photographs of trees, then worked with them on the computer to make them come alive in 3D. Because the resulting images are so immersive, they can serve as an effortless kind of meditation and played a key role in my awakening experience that completely changed my life. I spent many years working on all the images, the corresponding book, and sharing them in various shows and publications, so I think of this overall series as my magnum opus, the single greatest work I've made yet. In 2019, I was dealing with cancer and couldn't go far away to take photographs, so I decided to create as rich and complex a universe as I could from one single thing around the house. I chose to photograph a sago palm because it reminded me of the world tree and how we are all parts of the same vast oneness. My Fugue series started with single exposures, then changed to multiple exposures whose subtlety better evoked the complex ways that we're all interconnected. In 2022, after dealing with many years of agonizing back pain as well as surviving cancer, I was ready to work on a new series. I didn't think there could be new ways of photographing trees, but found an experiment I had done where I moved the camera while taking the photograph. I started making motion blurs of every tree I could find, and was constantly amazed at the unexpected results. Not only does the tree merge with the sky, I'm always in a meditative state while photographing, so we all merge together into an exuberant river of light. I call the series Beyond because I'm always trying to point beyond the obvious perspective in the obvious way of being. Then in 2025, I was thinking about how crazy the art world has become, with galleries going out of business and AI devaluing art by making all kinds of soulless images, while some people pay millions of dollars for a banana taped to a wall or for absurd NFTs. I wanted to pare down my photographs to the simplest possible expression of what my art and I are all about, the pure act of seeing deeply and finding soul even in the simplest everyday things. The result is my Liberation series, which are photographs of the sky, windows to infinity that are constantly there every moment of our lives if we choose to look up. We might think the sky is always blue, but it can actually be an immense range of colors, whether it's dawn, day, dusk, or night, and whether it's clear, cloudy, hazy, or anything in between. So that's a brief overview of me and my art, although there are several other series I haven't talked about here. I hope this all shows that my work is about much more than just beauty for its own sake, and that my constant experimentation with different techniques is always in the service of something greater, pointing beyond the ordinary and showing how we can connect with soul in direct, experiential ways. This isn't just wishful thinking or vague symbolism. Soul can completely transform our lives and make it much easier to thrive in our difficult modern world. Using art and the other tools I talk about in my book, From Wandering to Illumination, with enough practice, it can take just a few minutes to go from feeling completely awful to feeling radiant, connected with a mountain of strength, and ready to take on any challenge. Far, far more is possible than most people realize. To find out more about my art, including all the images in these series and other series I didn't mention in this video, you can go to the art page of my website and also check out the rest of ryanbushphotography.com, my YouTube videos, articles, and social media. And if you need a gift for yourself or anyone else, please keep in mind my wide range of prints, cards, and books. If you have any thoughts or questions, please let me know. Peace, love, and blessings.